Imagine that you wake up tomorrow and lose everything you have ever earned: money, networks, and promotions. What would you do? How would you cope? For most people, the idea of losing everything they have worked so hard for seems horrifying and devastating. But for an entrepreneur, this is a daily challenge. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of the famous book Rich Dad Poor Dad, has experienced this situation more than once. He knows how to bounce back from nothing and rebuild his wealth and success. You wake up tomorrow morning, and you're on the street. You have nothing. You don't have a single contact in your network. All you have is the knowledge and experience that you've gained throughout your career. How do you build up from there? Well, I've been there many times, so it's no big deal. You just figure out what's needed and wanted, and you go do it. Entrepreneurs have one thing in common: they keep going. They'll change the rules, they'll reinvent themselves. They don't just take one answer. So a real entrepreneur, it really makes no difference which country you're in. Entrepreneurship is a mindset first, a skill set, and rules. And depending on whether you're an employee or a small business, the roles are different, the mindsets are different, the skill sets are different. Robert believes that to be the entrepreneur you were meant to be, you have to understand that you must be willing to accept the lows and the highs, and constantly be learning to stay ahead. I look at life as learning and constantly learning. I'm reading and studying constantly. I spend most of my time with entrepreneurs. I don't spend my time with people who complain about the economy. So nothing will really change. I just go back to being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship can be an extremely complex thing, but it can also help the average person become stronger in the financial and investing realms that are so accessible today. The question is, how can someone become financially literate? What does it take to get a positive cash flow? And most importantly, what does it take to get rich? In this video, we'll give you some of the best tips and tricks that Robert Kiyosaki has to offer to reach your financial goals. Tip 1. Rewire your brain. We often think that we cannot change or improve the way our brains work, but on the contrary, with a simple change of mindset, it opens up a whole world of possibilities. I want a good pension. I want medical benefits. That's your brain. I can't help. They're going to rewire the brain. Because the economy takes place between this ear and this ear. That's where the economy takes place. And in your heart and in your guts. Tip 2. Use debt to get ahead. Now this sounds completely counterproductive. How can debt help you get ahead? As Robert Because they have a place to live. But all of this comes from debt. Tip 3. Find mentors. One of the most commonly talked about tips, but one of the most important ones out there. Having a mentor that can lead you through tough times, help you understand your field, and guide you to become the best you can be, is an essential part of becoming successful. My Sunday school teacher was a young, pretty woman, you know. And she said, "Robert, why were the 3 wise men wise?" You know, I go, because they were rich. No, they gave the baby Jesus gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Do they have to be rich, guys? I said, yeah, they're commodities traders. No, that's not it. Well, when they had gold, frankincense, and myrrh, well, that's not it. I said, why were they wise? I don't know. She says, what made them wise was they always sought the best teacher. And she says, if you're going to be successful in your life, you've got to find the best teachers. Tip 4. Don't work for money. This one sounds completely out of place in a video talking about how to become rich and successful. You can't be rich without money, right? Well, actually, the reason you're not financially successful could be because you are too focused on money. But when I make $1 million, I keep $1 million. And the reason is because I don't make it by working for money. So if you work for money, you're taxed. So that's why lesson number 1 in Rich Dad is, the rich don't work for money. What we do instead is we create businesses as entrepreneurs. We acquire real estate. I don't invest in the stock market. So the reason is because as entrepreneurs, I have more control over my income, how much I make, and how much I pay in taxes. And because I'm an entrepreneur, as well as an investor in real estate, I pay 0 tax. So every time I make, let's say, $1 million as an entrepreneur, I immediately invested in real estate. I have a 401 step up. So I put $1 million in real estate, I get $4 million from the bank. That's why I love banks. But the banks are screwing everybody else, you know. Terrible. But it's good for me. With these tips from Robert Kiyosaki, the way to positive cash flow and becoming rich is right within your grasp. Thanks for watching, and here's to your financial success, inspired by Robert Kiyosaki. Until next time, happy investing.